Hey y'all, Plastic Commander here, and today I'm going to take this Funko Pop and shove it right up my... Well, who could that be?
Good morning! Vault-Tec builder of state-of-the-art...
I don't want any of your cookies, so why don't you just turn it all around and get out of here, okay? Do us both a favor. Gosh, can you believe the nerve of those Girl Scouts? Because I sure can't. I keep telling them I don't want any cookies, yet they always keep coming... What's that out the window? Huh? You know, I don't really talk about it much, but I'm a pretty big fan of video games. In fact, when I was a teenager, before I started toy collecting, I was a really big game collector, and that shows because I'm a big fan of the Fallout franchise. I've played pretty much all of the console releases. I haven't played any of the early PC games just because I'm not... But when I heard that Bethesda licensed a series of Army Men adjacent figures for the Fallout franchise, well, I was just like, I gotta get those, right? These guys were made by a company called EMCE Toys. They're a novelty company that usually does stuff based off of different video game titles. The first time I heard of their Fallout Nano Figures line was during the infamous canvas bag crisis surrounding Fallout 76. In that special edition of the game were a bag of these little guys. I have in front of me right now the entire first wave. Now, each box has their own specific figures in them. And, well, I'm not really going to cover how the boxes are organized. Instead, I'm just going to cover these by color. We're going to start with green and gray, then we're going to move on to blue, then we're going to move on to orange, and then we're going to move on to the bigger figures. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it, shall we? You can buy individual bags of these online, but it's much more economically viable to me if you just purchase the entire set outright. If you do, they come in these little boxes labeled 1 through 4. They sit atop one of my shelves in the commander corner for display. I would pull them down, but that would require too much effort on my part.
No, I don't really feel like it.
However, I will show you guys the cool little foldable paper that comes with each box. On one side, you get a bunch of text, which all basically says that these figures are super cool and high-tech because they use the latest 3D modeling capabilities. More importantly, there's a list with images of each different figure in the entire first series. This was actually really useful to me for identifying some of the characters. On the other side is a map, which I think is from Fallout 76. Even though I have a copy of it, I haven't played it too much. There's also little circles with the names of each character so you can set them up and mark them off your list. This is kind of neat, but a little irrelevant if you ask me. But enough of boxes and paper. Are the figures cool at all? Start with the green and gray since those are our character figures. These guys are perhaps what you might have been thinking of when you pictured a set of army men themed around Fallout, and honestly, I wish this set was more of this. Despite this coming out with Fallout 76, we get a lot of characters from Fallout 4 in here. Of course, we get the male and female soul survivors, so you can roleplay the fantasy that both of them survived and have a happy marriage. You decide which part of that's the fantasy. We also get some of the companions like the Fighting Irish Kate, who I really wish they gave us in red, Super Mutant Strong, everyone's now second favorite ghoul since the Fallout TV show came out, Hancock, and the best and only sleuth in Diamond City, Nick Valentine. I think they should have made these more diverse colors, like maybe blue for the survivors and light brown for Nick, just to make them stand out a little bit better, but these are really nicely detailed nonetheless. I did have an internal battle trying to figure out if Nick was the mysterious stranger or not. We also get a handful of robots like a Nukatron and an Assaultron, which is giving me flashbacks to areas in Fallout 4 I was way too underleveled for. This Mr. Handy is actually probably one of my favorites in the whole series, no joke. And of course, we get a Protectron. We also get a nice array of power armor sets. The only one missing is the XO1 armor, I think. Fallout fans, correct me if I'm wrong, and if you're a nerd... The greens are primarily for your bad guys. We get a boy ghoul and a girl ghoul, a Sith trooper with his good pal X688. That's only if you think the Institute are the bad guys. 3 super mutants, which look awesome. We needed more of these, honestly. A Raider vet and a power armor Raider boss. And to top off the greens, we get a little green man. A nice reminder of the Easter egg in 4. All of these are super nice poses, and I really do wish this set was more of these. Imagine how cool it would be to army build raiders, mutants, and Sith troopers. They could have sold many more of these if they went this route. That being said, the blue figures are actually my favorite. That's because each of these guys are one of the Vault Boys. We get the Thumbs Up, Night Person, Chemist, Rifleman, Vans, Strength, Commando, Party Boy, Life Giver, Ninja, 4-Leaf Clover, and lastly, the Reaper. Not much to say on these guys other than they're very nicely detailed like the rest of the series. The plastic is also that soft PVC plastic we see in most Army-Men toys today, but there's no problems with bit weapons whatsoever, which is really nice. A perfect balance between molding and sturdiness. The orange figures are referred to on the poster as the artifacts, and surprise, I hate these. I really feel like they should have scrapped most of these for more enemy characters. These figures here are really only nice for the purpose of shelf candy, which is fine, but still, these are army men. I want to build an army, dang it.
Join the army, don't be a sissy, step right up and get a kissy.
We get a power armor helmet, a handful of guns, Grognak's axe, who I think is a boss. Fallout fans, correct me if you're a nerd. A bottle cap mine and mini nuke, a fusion core, and the only 2 figures I actually like in this lineup, which are Dogmeat and Jingles the Moon Monkey. Again, I really wish we got some different figures, like more Raiders, or maybe even some more Super Mutants, because we really did get robbed with these, as nicely detailed as they are. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, we're missing Minutemen, Diamond City officers, as well as settlers. So, we could have had all of those other than these. So, we got kind of gypped. Now, nextly, we get some really big 4-inch figures, which I actually really like, starting with box 1, which has a Toughness Vault Boy, which is really, really cool. I could totally see someone painting this, and of course it's Vault 111. Like I said, a lot of these are references to Fallout 4, so I don't know if these came out when Fallout 4 came out. In fact, the only time I ever heard about them was 76, but again, I don't know. Box 2, however, has Liberty Prime, which is the only reference really we have to Fallout 3, which is kind of disappointing, but he's holding a big nuke in his hand. Really, really cool. Then probably my favorite out of these 4 is in box 3, we get a very nicely detailed Deathclaw. So that's almost an alliteration, but again, we see a lot of really good molding here. As much as they hype up the 3D printing in that little pamphlet, they kind of can, because these are very, very nice, high-quality figures. And lastly, we get a Super Mutant Behemoth. Really, really cool, and they all scale pretty decently with the regular character figures, so I really like these, and I think they're really nice additions to this series. All in all, I think this is a really nice, cool series. It makes for great shelf candy if you're any kind of Fallout or even toy collector like me. and they're very nicely detailed. In fact, I could totally see someone painting these to make them look even more spectacular. My only real request that's of any note is probably to get rid of the orange ones and replace them with more character figures. Like I said, we need Minutemen, we need Diamond City officers. In fact, we could use more stuff from other Fallout titles like New Vegas or Fallout 3, like Little Lamplight or Caesar's Legion or the NCR. The NCR would be perfect as toy army men, but that's just one toy collector's opinion. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think of these. Anyway guys, that's going to wrap up this video, so make sure you like and subscribe. Also, on top of that, we're only 15 subscribers away as I'm making this video from 4,000 subscribers. So thank you guys so much for that. At 4,000, there will be another special. So just make sure if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do it. I'm watching you. I'm like Santa, but I'm worse. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Mission accomplished. Well done, man. Pack it up. We're going home.